and then we will begin. 3 to 5 more minutes maybe, because it's a Sunday. Till then, I would love for all of you, each one of you, to share your name, your all right, Vidhur, are you here? Vidhur, Siva as well.
Yeah, hi, I'm here.
Okay, awesome, Vidhur. All right, I think we'll have Siva join in the next 4 minutes.
Yeah, we'll probably have Shiva join by 5:10 at max 5:15, but anyways, we can get started. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, folks, since a lot of you are here on a Sunday with us, a very warm welcome to all of you. I do see a lot of new people have joined here as well. Some of you do, have been in the community for quite a bit of time, so you do know about product space. But just to formally welcome all of you, we at Product Space have our own different types of courses, cohorts, etc. For one, we have for PM fellowship, another is AI for PMs. But apart from that, we have a very big and thriving community as well. We have more than 51K followers on LinkedIn. Then we have our WhatsApp communities as well. So that's a bit about our background. We have been in this industry for almost 3 years now, and have had the chance to connect with a lot of aspiring product managers, people who are actually product managers, product leaders as well. And we are very glad to have a new set of people come in every time when we do these sessions or events, right? Now, the main reason why we wanted to do this AI hackathon was that we have been doing sessions on how PMs can implement AI, use AI to improve their productivity, maybe build their own agents, know about different types of tools as well. But what we felt was that you did come in the session, you did understand a few things, but a lot of people didn't finally end up doing anything about it, right? So with that in mind, we wanted to sort of have this environment where all of you are able to connect with each other, connect with our mentors, and the set of product leaders that we have as well, and build something completely from scratch on your own. This weekend will be the push for you to actually get your hands dirty, build something, and the confidence that you get out of building this, right, it's to another level. And we would love for you to have that confidence and at the same time showcase it in your network as well, right? So with that, we have this AI hackathon here. It is in collaboration with Lizer. We will be talking more about Lizer in the coming few minutes as well. Before that, I will just give you a brief on what all things we are going to cover in the session today. So we will be having one of the speakers who would be coming here, and he will be talking about how agentic AI changes product management now, right? So many of you are from a product background, a lot of you are from different backgrounds as well. But if you're building something, product management does come hand in hand in that, right? So this will help you in terms of understanding that agentic AI, how do you actually implement it, and how it will change things for you as well. We will give you a walkthrough, like I said, on how you can build your own agents completely from scratch on Lizer. We have, kindly invited the Lizer team, and they've kindly actually come here as well to share about their product and how you can possibly use it end to end. I think you have seen a lot of AI tools out there, but if you want to build things completely end to end, right, I think you'll be amazed by the amount of things that you can do with Lizer. Finally, we will also share certain guidelines with respect to the hackathon. So, what is the submission criteria? Where do you submit it? How does the submission happen? What are the timelines? And then we will finally share about the theme that you have to work on, right? So we will be sharing a theme. You will yourself think about what problem statement do you want to solve, right? Because just with one problem statement, I think you end up building things which are similar. That's why theme is what we will be releasing and what we'll be sharing, right? And finally, we'll have a Q&A wherein if you have any questions regarding the products that we showcase. Additionally, if you have any questions regarding the hackathon as well, we are here for as long as you like, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have, right? With that, just one quick question for everyone in the chat. If you can raise your hand or say or type a yes or no, if you've already built anything with AI before, would love to see yes, no, etc. in the chat. Okay, I see almost equal number of yeses and nos. Okay. And if you're saying a yes, of course, you have to share which tool either have you used or what have you actually built with it. Awesome. Great to see, Shine, that you've shared that you've already built something. Okay, you've used Chat GPT, Saurabh. Interesting. Folks, do switch on your cameras. I think you won't be able to enjoy the hackathon if you're not on camera or if you're not connecting with people. DeepSeek, okay. Bold, reality, cursor, Windsor, Versal. Got it. Lovable, yes. Awesome. I think quite a few people have used, AI tools previously, but yeah, by the end of this, we want each one of you to use, certain tools and build things on your own, right? Cool. Awesome. That was great to see, folks. Now, without taking any further time, I would love for you to meet Siva. He is the CEO and founder of Lizer. He has a lot of insights about this industry, how it has been growing, what has changed, and how possibly you might lag behind if you don't, quickly get onto the wheel and start building things on your own as well, right? Siva, do we have you here?
Yes, I'm here.
I'm unable to see you for some reason. Whether you're able to see Siva?
Here.
No, not yet.
Okay. But can you hear me?
Yes, he is visible.
Yeah, we can hear you, Shiva.
Okay. Able to see me?
He's visible.
I've just restarted my camera again.
Yeah, we can see you now.
Oh, cool.
Great.
Oh, 1 second. Let me spotlight Siva for everyone. Hey Siva, how are you doing? How do
I'm
you
good, thank you.
coming here, having so many people wanting to build AI agents? What kind of pulse do you get from the kind of audience that we have in India and the kind of products that people have been building?
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly jealous of all the product managers today because I was a product manager almost 10 years back and I never had all these tools with me. I used to still go by and use PowerPoints to do wireframes. I mean, I think right now there's so much of opportunity that is unlocked and happy to share what's happening in the US. I'm based in New York, so I'll also share how product managers are using these tools here in the US as well, and also in India. Our team is based in India, and we kind of iterate and move really fast. Happy to share things from my vantage point.
Makes sense, definitely. So Siva, just for your reference as well, right? The kind of audience that we also saw in the chat, most of them do come from a product background. So they would love to understand how they can improve their productivity and of course, build things completely from scratch on their own as well. If you could share a bit more about your background and then, possibly take over with your thoughts on agentic AI as well.
Sure, yeah. Uh, I have my team here, Manoj and Vidur, and they've prepared a fantastic demo as well. But what I'll do is conceptually walk you through how we are looking at the space and what is happening and what are the opportunities for product managers here.
Right.
Quick background about me. I started my career in 2008 as a software engineer for Tesco. But mostly backend. I used to do Teradata and C, mostly backend. I never learned Python or other object-oriented programming languages. But then after a few years in Tesco, I led few product roles, including product roles for Pearson, the world's largest education company. And that's where I said 10 years back, we used to have wireframes on PPTs and then I did learn Photoshop, to be honest, to kind of get better at it. And it was a mess. It was not easy, to be honest. Photoshop was not easy back then in 2012. I did my first startup in 2015, which went on to become a 200 plus people AWS consulting organization. We also built products, and even there, I still remember I used to draw those wireframes, bring that to life, explain it to engineers, and build together. And I sold the startup in 2019 to a large SI called Larsen and Toubro Infotech as part of the $22 billion Larsen and Toubro the group. And then I moved to the US. I did almost $500 million of business for them in 3 years. I led their global business unit, one of the business units. And 2023 had a chance to come back to the startup world. But this time, something was different. We had GPT 3.5 API. So you had a chance for the very first time to code and interact with a large language model apart from ChatGPT. So that made me to go back to coding. I always I knew OOPS, but I never coded. But I started learning Python again, all over again, and started writing programs again. That's how Lizer even started. Because when I was building these early apps in 2023, I realized that well, this is good for say really power developers who can go deeper and build all of these. We wanted to build something for the enterprise customers, especially keeping security and safe and responsible AI in mind. So that led to building Lizer. But we'll speak more about the platform. This has been my journey so far. A product manager, then an entrepreneur, then leading multi-million dollar business, but again coming back to the startup world.
Quite
So
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah. And we're very happy to have you, Siva. I think the kind of background that you have as well, right? Some people might be able to relate to it that, okay, not completely coding, but then got your hands dirty again. And now people might not, again, need coding at all, right? So would love to hear your perspective.
Yeah. I get for example, if you see now I know Python pretty well, but I don't know React. So I still use Cursor for the front end development. Then Lovable came along, and now there are tons of platforms came along. And we are also building a version of Lovable, and I'll show that. But we are doing it for a different reason, not to compete with Lovable. That's a very different reason, and I'll show that. In fact, one of our core engineers, one of our founding engineers, was a uh, uh, contributor to Lovable's open source framework last year. Back then, Lovable was GPT engineer. So we do understand it, but we are doing slightly from a different angle, and I'll share that as well. But before that, let us try and understand what agents are essentially and what are they replacing. Right, let me share my screen.
Yes. Yeah, we can see your screen.
Cool. So this is what's happening in the real world. Lizer, for example, we doubled our ARR in the last 15 days. We opened our pricing plan in Jan, and whatever revenue we did in Q1, we doubled that in the 15 days of April, first 15 days of April. And we'll probably end up getting to at least 12x and by end of Q2 because customers are paying. And the reason is this, what you see here. AI agents are replacing the clerical and operational tasks that were done by humans, which were process driven. And in doing so, it is also eating into a thin, sorry, a thin software layer as well. Let me give you a few examples. NBC Universal is a very large media firm, and they have their support system running on ServiceNow and supported by a human team on top. And they wanted to replace the team with AI agents. And we were able to build agents that operate as humans, and we were able to get them excited. But what we realized was uh, the moment humans took over, the AI agents took over the processes, it was able to do a lot more than humans used to do in the customer support scenario. For example, summarizing, looking into knowledge base and answering and etc. We were able to also build a thin UI layer, which actually made them thinking about replacing their ServiceNow software altogether. So agents are not only replacing the human layer, but it is also replacing the thin software layer. Uh, for example, I'll show the actual UI itself. So this is the customer support agent where customers would speak to or interact with. All you have to do was build an additional admin layer on top where you can have ticket management, knowledge base, training older queries, analytics, and so on. You know how much time it took for us to build this and go live? 72 hours, the whole thing. So this is why I'm saying that agents are not only replacing humans, it is also replacing the software layer. Now, how to think about it? Most of the metro trains in India, you have a driver, the train driver, but they don't do much. They don't they just stop, start. They don't necessarily turn or steer. So that is how you could think about from an analogy perspective. Any process that is set, that goes on the tracks on its own, you just need a human for reviews, for human in loop, for kind of take some actions when required. Otherwise, they just do their job automatically. So that is when you look at a process as a product manager, it's very important. When you look at any process, start breaking it down. I read a recent LinkedIn post about it, how one should think about from an agent architect point of view. Map the business process, define what are the key objectives, why all of us are hustling, why is that particular team even there, what are they doing? So define those objectives, KPIs, and guardrails. Start decomposing the workflow into smaller atomic tasks. And now for those tasks, you can build specific
Hello.
agents. That's number 4. And once you build those tasks, you can now start orchestrating them. So for example, in Lizer, building a task is as simple as building a task agent is as simple as this. Give a name, description, choose the providers. We have tons of providers here and various models. And there is a guide here which helps you choosing as well. Which model and what do they come, I mean, what are they good at, like reasoning and web search, etc. And then just give the role and instructions to the agent on what you want the agent to do. That's it. Your agent is absolutely ready. And that's what I meant by.
Excuse me, we can't really see the presentation. I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt, but is it there a way to pin this? Because the screen is very small for most of us.
Oh, is it? Let me check.
Yeah, because we're seeing it in two columns. In one column, we're seeing Siva, and the other column, it's the presentation.
Oh yeah, let's make the presentation.
And it would be very helpful if we can repeat the last 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
is
I hope
the
it's better for everyone
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Thanks a lot.
is the screen pinned now?
Yes.
All right. So going back, what I was saying is, as a product manager, when you look at a process, something that's happening in the organization from an automation point of view, this is how you could look at. Um, these are the steps basically. Start mapping the business process, like why, for example, in insurance claims processing, or in a bank, it's a loan processing, or invoice processing in finance teams. So just start mapping the business process. Understand what are the key objectives. What is the team measured on, and then start writing that workflow one by one, decomposing them into atomic tasks. And then you'll have to build these agents for each of these tasks. Building an agent is pretty straightforward on Lizer. So it's just name, give the description of the agent, and we recommend give the description as detailed as possible. I'll come back to that in a while, why we want our users to do that. Select the LLMs. We have all the leading LLMs, providers and the models. There is also a guide here which helps you to choose how to choose the right LLMs. And then give the role of an agent and agent instructions. There are examples here in the tooltip. And once you do that, you can add tools if you want. You can give further examples if you want, because agents, they do well if you give examples. These are features which I'll let Manoj and Vidur walk you through in detail. If you're a developer, you can access the API endpoint, but as a product manager, you don't have to. But this is what a single product agent, single task agent looks like. Once you do these agents, single task specific agents, you now orchestrate that agents in a multi-agent workflow. An orchestration would look like this. This feature is currently in our day one test. It's going live shortly in production, probably matter of couple of days. And each of these agents are nodes, and you can select the agent that you already pre-built, the task agents that you pre-built. So that's what the orchestration is. Then wire up the knowledge base and tool connectors, because for any agent that you build, where is it? Yeah, for any agent that you build, you can add a knowledge base in one click, and you can actually create your own knowledge base on Lizer. Knowledge base creation is also pretty straightforward. Create a knowledge base and just upload PDF, text, document, Word document, or website URL. So creating a knowledge base is pretty straightforward. And validate the whole testing by just clicking on run workflow. You run the whole workflow. And now you just have to deploy, monitor, and continuously fine tune. So this is what a product manager in the future will start doing, not just building and ideating and getting something to the engineering team. You are the engineering team. Several organizations will bring down their developer, I would say, teams, and they will actually rely on people who come with better ideas, folks who can execute really fast, go to market. Because the more you execute and more you try, the more you fail. Today, 50% of all the agents that any of our customers build actually fails. Only 50% of them really bring some ROI, and only 20% of them really bring maximum ROI. So it's very important that you have the ability to try as much as possible and go to market, which is why the agent architect is going to be a pretty important role. Now, going back, this is just to going back to the core idea. AI agents are replacing the human layer, and this is how you can understand how to go about what are the various areas that we can automate. And the architecture, while lovable, Replit, Cursor, fantastic platforms, the only issue that we continuously see is you are not building on a framework. You are directly integrating all the logic into your application layer, which is what we've been doing for the last 30, 40 years, where you build an application, the logic is in the application layer, and then you have system of record, which is your database. Now, what has happened is with frameworks like Lizer, LangGraph is a good example as well. We are breaking that layer now. You have the UI, which is just doing the UI's job. It does not hold any logic. You have the system of record, which is the database, which just does a database job. Again, it does not hold any logic. The logic is with AI agents now. So this is the logic layer where the business logic is preserved. This is what Satya Nadella spoke, I think almost few 6, 7 months back. And that's absolutely true. Your new logic layer, your business layer, sorry, your business logic is now with the logic layer, which is AI agents. Your UI does not hold any logic. And that is the right way to think about. Because let us go back to the same example. This is the UI of our AI SDR that we launched, and it's free, by the way. It's available on our marketplace. And with this, you can automate your AI outreach, sales outreach. Now, this is a product, this is a UI. It is powered by 24 agents in the backend, standalone agents. Now, if I want to change something here, if I'm a developer, or if I've used or used the logic in the application, I need to go to an engineer and I ask engineer to change. That's a whole process that we've been following for the last 30 years. But now what happens as a product manager or a business user, your UI doesn't have to change. You can go to your agent and you can change the logic just by changing those instructions to the agent, give better examples, add a new knowledge base, enable few modules. So as a product and
You
business
are
user,
sorry to interrupt you there, but I have a question. Like when you say an agent, I have heard of agents. Okay, I've seen in LinkedIn and like some YouTube videos also. But in
yeah.
your words, if I ask you to define what exactly is an agent,
Mhm.
how do you define it?
Yes. An agent is nothing but a prompt function calling that you normally write to ChatGPT. But when you build certain set of features around it, an agent becomes a self-contained container. Imagine a prompt, but that is within a container, a logical container, and it is designed to do that job time and again effectively. Then that becomes an agent. So what, for example, if you look at various definitions, one of the best definitions I've heard is what Sam Altman mentioned. An agent is something, take a single agent, by the way, an agent or multi-agent system, even something like this. Even this is also called as agent anyway, super agents. An agent is something that can run a long-running task, run a repetitive task, on its own with enough amount of reasoning involved without having to have a human come into picture. So I'll give you a better example, a practical example that, sorry?
Shiva just had a question in here. Is it open source? Like, can it be embedded onto other platforms with, like in the existing platforms, or is it like a standalone platform where it has to be exist? It can be interacted. And second, how are you guys different from N8N? Like,
Folks, please
are you
wait.
similar to LangGraph, or are you similar to LangGraph?
Folks,
We are
please
we
hold
are
on. I'm so sorry, Siva, but I don't want to halt your piece and have questions. Folks, please let's wait. There is a huge audience that we have here. We let Siva complete, and then we'll keep a 5 to 7 minutes if Siva has that time for Q&A. Right?
sure, yeah, let's do that.
We'll definitely spend
Uh,
that time. Folks. Sorry to interrupt, though.
Sure, makes sense. Yeah. I'll quickly answer these two and move forward. One is uh, on the agent side, like I mentioned, agents are nothing but your agent role and instructions that you provide. But the core features, the responsible AI features, safe AI features that is built within the agent makes it an agent actually, first of all, because it's able to run a long-running task again and again in a highly deterministic manner. Coming back to N8N versus Lizer, both are different. The reason is uh, from a larger use case point of view, both N8N and Lizer might go after similar use cases. But with Lizer, what happens? You have orchestrations, you have managerial orchestrations, you have DAG orchestrations that you will find in LangGraph. But we are bringing that to the world of workflow, N8N world. So that is number one. And number two, primarily, LangGraph, for example, does not come with safe and responsible AI guardrails built in. But in Lizer, the guardrails are built natively, which I'll cover shortly. But happy to take questions a little later. One practical example on how agents are different from ChatGPT. So this is an agent that I built, a Lizer proposal builder. Now, before I built this agent, I used to go to ChatGPT every time. After a meeting, I used to give the agent ChatGPT the context on what it is supposed to do. So it was a fresh start every time, have to give context and overall keep improving how ChatGPT could write proposals for me. Now, all of that is done within the agent itself. So when I go to proposal, so all those feedback that I had to give, I had to just write into the instructions now, an agent instructions. And this is now solid. This becomes the core system prompt that goes to any LLM that I use. And here I use Gemini, by the way. Now, what happens after every customer call? All I have to do is copy the transcript of the call and I'll give it to the agent. Because the agent knows what it's supposed to do, it starts going through the transcript and it starts writing the proposal for me. You won't believe this saves 30 minutes for me for per proposal in a day. So this is how agents are. And this is a self-serve agent. In Lizer, what we've done is when you build an agent as a product manager, in one click, you can also launch the agent as an app instantly. So this is how agents are different from going to chat GPTs and Claudes of the world. And yes, they are also improving. They've brought in threads, etc. But there is a larger reason behind where agents come in real handy. Once you start building all these agents, you get into what we call as agent mesh. You start building an agent mesh for your organization. It could be department wise. It could be agent mesh for our, say, sales team, marketing team, loan application team, for media production team. The agent mesh continues to build the knowledge graph for the organization because these agents have a lot of context. They have a lot of logs. They have a lot of context and learning. They write into a central knowledge graph, eventually helping organizations unlock OGI, organizational general intelligence. This is where we are headed towards. This is where Lizer is headed towards. We strongly believe that OGI will be able to run an organization or teams 80% autonomously. But for that to happen, you need to have a central knowledge base that is continuously powered by these agents that go to work on a daily basis. That is where agent mesh comes into picture. So now you would be able to understand why the ChatGPT and Claude world is very different from agent world, and how agents are writing into a central knowledge graph for the whole organization. So I'm just going with the flow because it's all connected one after the other. So going back, this this is the architecture that brings business teams and engineers together now. So the business teams are on their own. Like yesterday, we were speaking to one of the largest property management companies in New York, and the chief operating officer, when she saw that she has does not have to go back to her engineering team, and they're one of the largest property management or companies in the US, uh, and their development team has 6 months of backlogs for any new feature changes. So even if she has to ask for a new logic change, she has to wait because she's completely dependent on the engineering team. But now with this the three-tier architecture, she can get into an agent and she can start changing the instructions, giving more instructions directly without having to rely on the engineering team. And if she can test it right here, and if she's not able to solve the problem, she just have to do one thing. She just has to break. She'll have to break the agent into two parts, two sub agents, so that the data is. Let me delete this. So she will have to just now redirect the other task to another sub agent, ensuring that the logic is preserved at the business layer or the logic layer and not at the UI layer. So this is how the world is evolving, and this is the new architecture that we are moving towards. Now coming back to quickly around Lizer, how are we different? We launched our framework in July 2023. I wrote the core framework, and after that, I have a fantastic engineering team who took over and have improved it. Entire 2024, we went to enterprise customers. Think of larger ones: JP Morgan Chase, world's number one bank; Allianz Life, world's number one insurance; AirAsia, world's number one airliner. So we've been working with, engaging with leaders in all these larger organizations to understand what is stopping them from adopting AI agents today. And it's not a surprise, 95%, and you many of you might see in your organizations as well, apart from some smaller low precision tasks, almost 95% of all AI engagement, or I would say projects, remain as POCs. And we started looking at it, and that's how Lizer, we started designing Lizer as in a three-layered approach. Right at the bottom is the AI framework itself, comparable with LangGraph and Crew and AutoGens of the world. Then we built the studio, an AWS like a Vercel like platform for you to build agents and manage agents at scale. And then a Snowflake like agent mesh, which is what you saw, where the organizational general intelligence comes into picture for the organization and even for the teams. And what we did again was the agent itself. The core agent of Lizer has the safe and responsible AI modules built natively. This is a massive architecture update that we did it was in October 2024. We were the first framework to do this, bringing the guardrails into an agent and not outside of an agent. So when, for example, if one of your customers share a PII data, the agent will automatically stop processing the data. It will not send to a large language model, because the moment the PII data goes to an LLM, you as an organization might be, you're responsible for this data not to go to an LLM, because that is the SOC 2 privacy policy that you provide to your users. When if it goes to an LLM, you are opening a can of worms and with lawsuits and etc. So normally organizations use third-party guardrails, which is another API. But the moment you look into that scenario, you are sharing your customer data with another third-party company and etc. So we want to change that. We wanted agents to be responsible, like how our parents imparted values when we were very young. That is the thought process. What if you impart the safe and responsible AI guardrails into the agent itself rather than it being an afterthought? So we did this. So the data, if it is processed, then it goes to LLM, does knowledge base, RAG calls, tool calling, etc. And then it goes to the output modules, safe and responsible AI output modules. And if it goes through all of it, for example, if you have enabled fairness and bias, if it is good, if it crosses a threshold, then it moves on to output processing. So this is what we did at an architecture level, and you will be able to see that in the UI as well. When you go to Lizer creating agents, you can see all the responsible AI and fairness and toxicity here enabled. And in a larger organization, what happens? The CIO or the Chief Information Security Officer can enforce this across. So as a product manager, you're not worried whether you're doing something wrong or something that your organization is not kind of objects to, because everything is controlled at a central level. But where project managers get real advantages here, you can, like I said earlier, connect a knowledge base that you would have built. You can also do structured analysis, data analysis for your structured data. So by converting your agent into a data agent, you can also add memory to your agent by just enabling these. So we made it super easy for users to, product managers to build. And there are other concepts like managerial orchestration, etc., which I think Manoj and Vidur are going to cover today. Uh, so going back, all our safe AI modules are powered by uh, deep learning algorithms, and we continue to release research papers with benchmarks. What you can do with Lizer today? So that is another interesting one. You can build a task agent. You can also build a voice agent powered by 11 Labs, OpenAI, and DeepGram. You can also build a data agent. These are the three key building blocks. We also have browser agent, by the way, but I think the large language models are getting better at browser agent anyway. So we are figuring out whether we should release it or not. But we already solved a couple of problems for our customers using browser agent. But these are the three building blocks. And with those building blocks, we can build a multi-agent system like this, as you see. And you can now integrate with any, this is where you need engineers to come in. We do have default integrations, at least 1500 plus integrations are possible via no code. But additionally, if you need integrations to any of your internal systems, with Cursor, etc., it is probably a 4 to 8 hour work to get these integrations up and running for specific actions that you may need. But this is how the building blocks of Lizer works. And Lizer is also becoming very modular now. I think one of you asked about can it is there interoperability? Answer is yes. Lizer was one of the launch partners for Google's A2A, agent to agent protocol. We are also one of the launch partners for MIT's Nanda protocol, which is another A2A protocol, and we support MCP as well. So Lizer is very modular in nature. If you already built on LangGraph, you can integrate with Lizer agents and vice versa. You can come to Lizer just for AI guardrails if you want. We are launching the responsible AI as a standalone feature shortly. So Lizer is very interoperable that way. And lastly, Lizer SaaS option is available for all of you to play around. We have a community plan. You get 500 credits per month free, and you can play around with Lizer, and you can also run Lizer on-prem as well for very large organizations. And this is the best part. This is what I'm most excited about. The more use cases that we tackle at Lizer, all of them gets converted into blueprints. And all these blueprints, we are currently working on exporting them to the platform. So when this goes live, when the workflow builder goes live on the platform, what you'll also get access to is the blueprint library. And a blueprint library looks like this. These were, this is something that's written outside of the platform, but now we are porting to the platform. What you see here is a self-improving customer support agent, a loan approval agent, an autonomous AI recruiter agent, a sales coach agents. All these agents are now being ported as blueprints into the system. So as a product manager, you can visit Lizer and you can search if there are any blueprints for the problems that you're trying to solve, and you can clone the blueprint into your environment, and it comes with synthetic data, so you can replace that with your knowledge base, and you are now able to get started really fast. These agents are typically 70th percentile blueprints, which means you are able to go to market 70% faster compared, at least, or rather, the other way to say is you save 70% of the time in building the whole architecture and base, the whole agent, multi-agent system from scratch. So this is a massive value unlock, and we are rushing to get this out for all of you. And this will allow you to just build on top of existing blueprints. You don't have to build from scratch. So with that, I'll move to the last part of our discussion today. What we realized was in this architecture that you saw, the system of record or database is normally provided by organizations like AWS, etc. But as a product manager, you can also use Airtable, Notion, Google Sheets, etc. I will not name, but one of the largest tech companies in India, probably in the food delivery space, uh, still manage their most of their HR processes on Google Sheets. So as a product manager, if you're using Google Sheets, there's absolutely nothing wrong about it. If you're using Airtable, it's not nothing wrong about it. So your system of record need not be Supabase. Well, Supabase is very easy to learn and use, but it need not be Supabase, it need not be Postgres, it need not be any other structured, I would say, RDBMS. It could be as simple as these no-code databases as well. And agents is something that you saw that you could build on the platform. So what we thought was, okay, today we allow our users to build an agent and launch that agent in a single click as an app, but the app is static. The app layer is static. What if we made the app layer dynamic? What if the agent understands how to build its UI and make it dynamic? And that is why we went back to what we did with GPT Engineer and we started building an agentic UI, a dynamic agentic UI as well. But unlike Lovable and Bolt, where you prompt and build something, in case of Lizer, it'll automatically build the UI for you based on your workflow. It'll analyze your workflow. It'll analyze your the system agent instructions that you've written, and it'll automatically build a dynamic UI. We are still working on connecting these two, but as of now, just to show you, it work exactly like Lovable if you prompt it even. So once it builds a dynamic UI for you, then you can go ahead and prompt with it further to change the dynamic UI that the agent has built for you. For example, as a product manager, if you're building, build me a product feedback collection agent that collects feedback from users and customers. Uh, so this is I'm prompting it just to show you that hey, we have lovable like capabilities. But the real point I'm trying to highlight is this is what you will do to refine the agentic UI by prompting it. But the agentic UI will be tied to the agent's API by default within Lizer. So that is the direction that we are taking, making you as a product manager even more powerful, the business manager even more powerful. So like I mentioned, and a HR manager, as long as they understand how to decode and build a multi-agent system, now they become an agent architect in HR. Similarly, agent architect in process automation and so on. So this is how the world is changing, and we don't want to use disparate systems like Lovables and Bowls, etc. We are bringing it together in one single place where Lizer does the whole 9 yards for you. And this is where we are different from Replit because when you want to change the logic, you're not going to prompts now. You are going to your agents where you have a highly deterministic way of improving the logic layer. So this is what allowed us to deploy or help enterprises go production. This is the reason why we doubled our ARR. And I think this is the architecture that predominantly will help you to also try fast, fail fast, but also deploy faster. So I think we've covered a lot of things. The team will walk you through a lot of demos. We have a pretty cool voice feature coming up shortly as well. So any agents that you build on Lizer, you can enable voice almost instantly. So your ideation could be even faster, like uh, like an exit interview agent that we built. All you have to do is come to Voice Playground, select the agent that I built. So the agent sits here actually. Um, Exit interview agent where I said, okay, you are an exit interview agent, ask a few questions and just collect the feedback. So once did this, I just have to go to voice agent, select the exit interview agent and start playing around. Hi.
Hello, it's great to have you here. Thank you for taking the time for this exit interview. I hope we can have a constructive and positive conversation about your experience. To start, could you share what your overall experience at the company has been like?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
I'm glad to hear that you've had a positive experience. Could you tell me a bit more about the main reasons you're deciding to move on from the company?
I was a product manager and I recently attended a webinar. I realized what I could do. So software engineering is not stopping me anymore from building my own startup. So I'm headed out to build my startup now.
That sounds like an exciting new chapter. Reflecting on your time here, what aspects of your role did you enjoy the most as a product manager?
Yeah, the team was fantastic to work with.
It's wonderful to hear that you had such a great.
So this I built and I was able to try it out in less than like 5 minutes, as you see. The prompt you saw was nothing fantastic, but the tooling is what makes you to go from an idea to a prototype pretty fast. And I posted about this. We are getting massive amount of requests coming in just for this particular agent. And we get into the call and we tell them, hey, there's no secret here. You just go and build yourself and launch for your organization. It's as simple as that. So this is what the voice part is, and I strongly believe voice is going to be pretty massive as we head into 2020, second half of 2025 and 2026 and so on. So our job as an organization is to continuously listen from our customers and build these features. I'll not even get into this. This is a whole different one. This is what JP Morgan Chase and Goldman Sachs of the world are looking into, agent entitlement policy. This makes every agent context aware. So this is the new governance that is coming into picture. So agents are context aware now with Lizer, again, where we are different from LangGraph and other platforms. So agent entitlement policy, let's take this example. You have a finance projection agent that looks into finance data, which is used only by the CEO and the finance users and the auditors. Now, there is another website chat agent in the same organization, which looks into the website content and helps customers to access website chat, like asking questions, etc. Now, by mistake, someone connected these two agents because connecting is straightforward, as you saw in that architecture. Someone connected by mistake, and you don't want your customers to now access finance data. There is a high probability that customer might get access to finance data, which is where the agent entitlement policy comes into picture, because the finance projection data, it will look into the policy and it will understand whether it can share its data with the website chat agent, and if not, it will not share. So this is the governance aspect of it, the agent entitlement policy. Very similar to how our mom usually told us when we were young, don't talk to strangers, even if it's your uncle. So that's exactly what's happening here. Even if it's a trusted agent coming in from within your environment, the agent are context aware now. They are self-aware what they are, who should they share data with. So that is agent entitlement policy. As a product manager, you don't have to worry about it right now, but these are questions that your CIO or CTO would ask when you move from prototype to production. And we are keeping that in mind, and we are building for organizations to take the projects to agents to production, right? There's literally no point in building in prototypes. You'll have to take to production to see the real ROI. And that is the primary mission for Lizer. We need to we want your agents to be in production. One last part is we continue to enrich our marketplace. You will see far more fantastic pre-built agents going in the marketplace. You can go and try around. It's in Lizer Agent Marketplace. I personally like the deep research agent. This actually helped us close a very large deal. The pitch deck evaluator agent is also pretty cool. You can upload your pitch deck and see how the agent evaluates. So more agents are going to come, like AI phone dialer, a self-serve website chat bot. A lot more agents are being planned and we're going to launch, which you can just start using it. And if you are a builder, you can just build and launch your agents in the community as well. So yeah, that's about me. That's about about the whole session. Like I said, I'm so jealous of you guys because you have so much tools. All you need to do is find time to learn and start building. We are in a very different world, and the world is changing very quickly. In the next 24 months or even next 12 months, I don't know what other technologies are going to come. Definitely not AGI. So we all in the US are now settled that Sam Altman does not have AGI. So we are clear about it. But I think between AGI and what we have today, a lot more things will happen. So yeah, best of luck. Just create an account, play around, learn to build these agents. Happy to take questions.
Awesome. Thanks, Siva. That was amazing. I think the audience has asked a few questions. We will take just one or two
Okay.
because, yeah, we're over time a bit.
I'm trying to see the question. Okay, it's here.
Anything that
We will.
you can pick.
Okay, I'll go through quickly. Do we need technical knowledge to run these agents as product manager? No, as you saw. We have to make AI agent by entering prompt. Okay, I think the answers are there. Can we integrate this with Figma, and also can it help us to integrate third-party APIs with our application? You can integrate third-party APIs. Figma, I'm not sure how the integration would work. We need to look at it. We have something exciting coming up. I'll not spill the beans here. When my founding engineer asked me to keep my mouth shut on that. So we have something coming up here. I'll just, the teaser is this. Can you go from a whiteboard drawing to an app without having to write one line of code? But in the architecture that I explained earlier, where you have the data system, the agent system, and the UI system. That's something we're working on. Is it free? Answer is yes. You have 500 credits every month. So use it wisely, like we say. And I'd given any other questions? Okay, Lizer, how I don't understand how to use it as a vibe coding agent to build software. For example, I can use Cursor Lovable to build a web app, but do I use Lizer to achieve the same? See, vibe coding is good, but as you already know, vibe coding can get you to prototype, but will not get your CTO clearance. From Lizer's perspective, we have it. It's going live shortly. I think yeah, this is the vibe coding part. You can just type, or you can even speak to the agent and start building agents automatically. So it's going live shortly. Vibe coding is there, but I will not recommend that as your primary mode of development when you're thinking to go production, which is why we made the agent builder very easy. So if it's so easy to build an agent builder, why would you even vibe code? Because it's the same set of instructions you're going to provide internally to an agent builder anyway. Can we build our own AI agent and list on my Liza Marketplace? Yes, you can do that. Are these being used in organization without privacy and data concerns? Yes, like I said, banks, insurance, airlines, these are some of our largest customers, and they also run the local on-prem version as well. So you also have an on-prem version available where entire data sits within.
I think there are a few questions about the hackathon as well. Folks, we'll take that towards the end.
Yes. Yeah, I think we've kind of answered pretty much, but we'll respond back via chat as well.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Siva. Thanks for spending so much time here with us. Every aspect that you showed here was very interesting, and I'm hoping the audience that we have here build something really good as well using Lizer. And yeah, folks, quite interested to see how you use the product well too. Awesome.
Yeah, please start playing around. I'll just leave with one last story. We had an entrepreneur, a budding entrepreneur based in US. She reached out and she wanted to build a SaaS which can call patients and check how are they doing. So normally post operations, patients go back home and the doctor's office will call a few times in a week, in a month to check how are they doing. So they wanted to automate and build a SaaS out of it, SaaS business out of it. And they were able to go from 0 to 1 in 24 hours with Lizer because we were able to build the agent, which can also call via Twilio, and it can ask certain questions. Hey, how are you doing? Is there any pain? Do you think you'll have to come back to the doctor for a visit? So this is what platforms like Lizer are already doing today, allowing you to build and go live faster. And the bigger issue that we are solving is the moment you decide to go live, your path to production is very seamless because Lizer is built keeping the safe and responsible AI in mind, ensuring that you are not your agent doesn't collect PII data and so on. So feel free to try the platform. Feel free to break it. Give us feedback. We'll continue to improve. Thanks everyone for joining, and Vidur and Manoj to take over.
Awesome. All right. Next up, would love for Manoj to come here and share a brief demo as well in terms of how you can build things end to end. Manoj, he is a PM at Lizer. So Manoj, over to you if you're here already.
Yes, I'm here. You can pin my camera as well. I'll start sharing in a minute. So thanks, Shiva. I am Manoj, product manager at Liza.ai, and I'm going to give you a quick overview of how my life has been before the rise of LLMs and after the rise of LLMs as a PM. So earlier, it was really difficult way for all the repetitive tasks to do again and again. So if I have to create a PRD, I have to do it again and again, the same format, same templates. So it was time consuming. That's one thing which with the rise of rise of LLMs and agentic world, it's quite easy to now to build a PRD, build a user story. It's quite easy now. And the second thing which I felt is different now is how you're not dependent on others. Now, if my designer is busy, I don't have to wait for my designer. I can simply go to Lovable, go to Liza.ai, build a website, build a prototype, and simply show it to, let's say, a developer for easy understanding, or for a client if there's a demo. So now I'm not dependent on others. So this all the automation and how things are fast makes my life quite easy, quite more efficient. And I'll quickly show you a couple of agents that I've built in the PM space so that you also get to understand how it could also change your life as well. I'll quickly share my screen. Yeah. So if you see here are some of the agents that I've built. I want to walk you through a PRD builder for product manager. So if you look at here, I gave a short instruction saying that you're expert product manager, and I gave a set of instructions. And we have a great feature called improve. Just write 2 lines or 3 lines, just give it context, click on improve. It will automatically fine tune your prompt so that.
Sorry to disturb. Can you guys please fill the screen?
Yeah, one second.
Is the screen pin?
Yes, all good. Please continue.
Perfect. So if you look at the agent role and agent instructions, you can just give a 2-liner requirement saying that this is the PRD, just follow the format. That's it. Click on improve. It will automatically ensure that you get best out of the LLM. So it understands your ask better and it tries to get the best output of it. So if you look at this, there's an example section where I gave a sample PRD saying that I want to have objective as a part of my PRD. I want problem statement, give a solution, talk about features, and here you go. And once you do that, you can simply say, let's say give a question to it. Top 10 watchable content for any OTT platform. Let's say this is one of the features that you're trying to build. So Netflix has this, right? Like a top 10 section for movies and even for series. So there are going to be a lot of nuances. Obviously, there's going to be a PID for it. So once I do that, let's wait for a few seconds. And here you go. So now it becomes quite easy. It takes the example that I've given and does it in the same format, what I'm looking for, and my job becomes quite easier. Obviously, there are going to be iterations. Obviously, there are going to be few things as a PM which I might be aware of, which the agent might not be. But most of my work is done. I can simply add a few feature which a customer might have asked, but I have the base skeleton-based framework to get started with. This is one example, but I wanted to actually connect and make this a bigger section where the agent doesn't solve only one problem, but it does end-to-end job. So if you see here, I've created a manager agent. What a manager agent does is it tries to talk to multiple agents. It has an objective in its hand. So it tries to talk to multiple agents and ensures that your objective gets completed. So if you see here, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to connect my PRD builder agent, which I showed you. This one another agent called a user stories generator. One agent that prioritize my features from the list of PRDs that I've given, from the list of PRD document that I've had. And then all this information will go to my Slack channel. So these are 4 different agents which are built separately. Now I created a 5th agent called product manager. All I need to do is come here. I gave set of instructions saying that how all these 4 agents need to talk to one another. So if you look at my agent instructions, let me expand this. So I'm trying to tell it to first run the PRD builder agent, get a PRD. Then I send the output to my Slack messenger wherever I've told it to send. So Slack is a tool, and I've told which channel to send as part of my Slack messenger agent. And then once that is done, I'm telling it from the list of user stories in the PRD builder agent, I'm telling it extract the user stories, give me more information on it, give me acceptance criteria for it, and it does the job. And similarly, I told from the list of features which the PRD builder agent gave me, I told it to prioritize based on impact by effort and the Moscow method, which is must have, should have, could have, and not have. So, and then all this information goes to my Slack channel. So here you go. So 4 different agents now working together with help of one manager agent, which is trying to oversee everything is going smooth or not. So what I would recommend is for manager agent, work on good models. So 4.0 has a good amount of reasoning as compared to 4.0 mini and some few other models. So I've selected 4.0 right now. And all I need to do is I'll try to do the same thing. Top 10. And I've sent it. Now it does the entire process which a product manager needs to do again and again, day in and day out. I click on track activity, and here you go. You get to see all the things that are happening in the background. In case if you find an issue, this is the best place to actually debug and obviously tweak your prompt. So while it's running, I'm just giving you some context is while building an agent, it's not easy that you get the output in the very first time. So obviously you have to iterate, improve your instructions. If you see here, it gave me a PRD. So the PRD builder agent ran. Then what it would do is it would send that information to the Slack. So if I go to my Slack, give me 1 second. To go to my Slack, if you see here, I've already got.
अरे नहीं वो सफाई कर रहे हैं, क्यों क्या करना है हमें?
चाहिए होगा एक बार लिमिट वगैरह भी देखना पड़ेगा.
Go on, Manu. We'll just mute.
I've muted them. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Give me one while it's running. It's still running. There are plenty of things that are going on. So even if the agent fails to do the job, what the manager agent does is it tries to iterate, tries to find a problem and then fix it, ensures that you get your objective done. Here you go, 6:08 p.m. So I got my PRD first. It gave all the things that I wanted. Now it moves on to my user stories generator, and I think it will take time. So what I'll do is I'll give you the things which I've already ran. So if you look at this, each user story, it's breaking it as a specific format that I've given, gives the acceptance criteria for each user story, and then it even prioritizes all the features that it gave. So personalizing the top 10, it felt it is high, so it gave a priority of 9 out of 10 and told it as must have. So it's so easy now. Your manager agent now does the job end to end. So this is one of the use case which I wanted to show. And from a hackathon point of view, I'm just wanted to give you some other few things which you could do. So if you see here, as Shiva was talking about the knowledge base, this is useful when an LLM model like GPT or any other model doesn't have information about. So let's say you're building a chatbot for your website or for your company. It doesn't know what your company does entirely, right? So you could have a document, you could give your website link to it as part of knowledge base, which you can do it from here. You can do it from here, create a knowledge base, and then you can attach it to the agent so that now your agent has some context awareness about the information about your company. So I could simply ask, what does Lizer do, or what's the pricing plan of Lizer? And it's as simple as that. It simply gives answer without the need of any human intervention. That's knowledge base. As part of tools, as you saw, I've added Slack as a tool. So it sent me the messages to my Slack channel. Think of how powerful this could be. Say, let's say this updates the Jira itself. Let's say you're using Jira as a platform or using Notion as a platform. What if I can create a PRD from this and simply I have a new page in my Notion file? All this you can do by adding a tool. By if you don't find that tool as part of our existing preset tools, as Shiva said, you can use the APIs. We use the Open API schema format, and then automatically it does the job. So there are tons of things that you can do. So I think the execution is completed. After everything is done, it simply shows that these are all the things that I've done. So yeah, that's it. That's it from my end. Open to questions. If there are any.
Awesome. Thanks, Manoj. This is quite helpful. Folks, we will be taking up questions. Manoj and Vidhur, if we can wait for just, I think, 5 more minutes, I'll cover regarding the theme and
Yes.
overall how you need to approach, and then we can keep it open to all the questions that folks will have, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'll just be sharing the Notion page, which contains all the details that you need to know about the hackathon, the submission, and everything else as well. So just quickly sharing. All right. So folks, I'll be sharing this link with you. This is a Notion doc which contains all the details. So like you can see the theme here, it's reimagining education with AI. So we didn't want to keep it very specific to a certain domain, which a lot of people may not have knowledge about, right? So education is something which is accessible to most of the people, and we would love to see your ideas around it as well. Now you can refer to this Notion doc to understand how do you approach this complete hackathon end to end. So you understand the problem clearly. You can still ask us more questions in terms if you have regarding the theme. We had also noted down certain samples which will help you understand what simple things that you can build, right? So the quiz bot, a smart planner, which will help you create a study plan as well, right? So these are basic ideas. Of course, you can go a lot in depth. Depending on how fast you're able to build things, right? So you can, the more depth that you go into, the more points that you get as well. So you understand the problem, have your audience clear that who are you building this for. Do brainstorm the solutions. You can go as crazy as possible, but it's great to have a laundry list first ready, right? Finally, build a minimal demo which you can show, right? And then start reiterating it. You don't think about building a whole big sort of product in the very beginning, right? Because you might not be able to build it in the time span. So have a minimum design ready, and then you can keep iterating on it as well. Okay. Finally, you need to share your solutions in the form of a video demo. We have in detail of what all do you need to cover in this demo as well. Okay, so I'll take you through that. Now for the guidelines, we will accept all the entries till 11:59 p.m. tomorrow. As you saw, building these agents do not take time with the kind of tools that are out there, right? And especially if you use Lizer as well, you can build things quite fast. So use the tool, and till tomorrow midnight you have time to submit your final video, right? We will be sharing the submission link here and on the WhatsApp group as well. Please be active on WhatsApp group. We will be communicating a lot of things there as well if you have any questions or queries. Like I said,
could you please repeat the theme of the hackathon?
Yes, this is also there in your Notion itself. So how do you build products or agents solving different use case related to education, right? It could be any specific audience that you want to pick. It could be working professionals, it could be people who have disability as well. You can think through as wide as you can, right? All right. Finally, coming to the submission demo, we request that the video be maximum of 7 minutes. We want to see what you have built, how it works, and what are the key features and outcomes. Again, this we have further broken down into
And we
how
can
you
use any AIs, right? It's just not necessary for us to use the Lizer AI, right?
No, you can use any AI. That is perfectly fine.
Okay, thank you. And
Yeah.
will we have any kind of like special API keys or something like the premium anything?
That we won't be able to give you access to. So yeah, you have to create on your own. Of course,
Okay,
you can
ma'am.
use the free trial accounts on different platforms, and if you're building for the first time, right? Now, coming to the judging criteria, yeah, I'll take those questions soon. This is just about to end, right? So we have 4 criterias, right? You can go through all of them. We want to look at the uniqueness. Does it actually solve a problem? How functional and polished is the final demo that you have given? And how meaningful is AI leveraged in the solution, right? So your AI integration matters a lot. Each of these contains 10 points. So 10 points for each of these sections. Finally, we have certain bonus points as well as part of the audience poll challenge. You can look at the point structure, the maximum being 10 points. Since you're building your own products, right, you should yourself share these things on your LinkedIn, showcase that you are upskilling, you are getting in that sort of league as well, where you're building things on your own. So you can share that, you can tag us and Lizer, and then we will share a link with you wherein you can share your LinkedIn post link and a screenshot of the final number of likes and comments, right? The date for all of these things are mentioned in the WhatsApp group. I will also add it here actually, so that it's easy for you to reference. Okay. Finally, we have collated quite a few resources for you here. How do you approach this particular hackathon? You can also go through Cursor, Replit, Lovable, as well. These are some of the guides that our team has created. Additionally, there are Lizer specific guides as well. So a lot of you were asking for videos, how do you access Lizer, etc. Right? So all of those things are here. Vidur and Manoj, if you want to add anything, on these lines, wherein what they should start with or what they can possibly use, so you can pitch in here.
No, I've collaborated the most simplest resources that anyone can get through with. If we have anything else to add, we'll probably add it soon. Yeah.
Sure. And Vidur and Manoj, I will have you in the group as well, if you don't mind. And if people have questions related to Lizer, if you can help them as well. Right?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Awesome. All right, folks. So I'm done with my 5 to 7 minutes. Now, we are open to questions. You can put them up in the chat box. For teams, we have already shared that you can have max 2 people in a team. You can do it individually as well. Yes, Ajay, I'll be putting it in the WhatsApp group. I hope each one of you who is here is in the WhatsApp group as well. No, Shubham, unfortunately, we have already shared the max credits that's possible.
I have a few hacks and I'll try to answer a few questions. So
Sure.
every time you sign in, right? Every time you sign up using an email, you'll get 500 free credits that replenishes every month. For the sake of hackathon, I understand you'll obviously continuously do it. So you might be requiring more credits, but one way to actually do it is by conserving the amount of credits that will be consumed. So if you use cheaper models like GPT-4o mini, if I take example as compared to GPT-4o, it will consume 16 times less credits. So that way you can test out your agents while you're building using a cheaper model. And in case if you're not satisfied with the result, then obviously move on to a higher model. And again, you can obviously create multiple accounts since you will be in a team and obviously can do that as well.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, Manoj, for sharing those hacks.
One other common thing that I've seen people asking is how do we deploy this? One, you can publish it as part of the agent marketplace, so it is visible to everyone as well. That's one option. But second, we're not limiting it to only publishing in Studio in Lizer. What you can do is in the agent builder, once you have built an agent, you get to see an API at the top. You can copy that API, and if you have a website or a UI available, which you might have built through Lovable or even built having proper coding, then you can use these APIs and integrate that as part of your website. So you are not dependent on Lizer and Studio as a platform itself. So you have all the flexibilities you want.
Parag, it should be a complete prototype. In the submission, we will also ask for link to your final prototype as well and certain credentials. Rest assured, those credentials will stay limited to us itself, and we'll be using it just once to see the demo, to see and actually test it out ourselves end to end.
Yeah, Manoj.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Will that API, like the module, be hosted on the Lizer, like the API
Mhm.
link that a person would click? Will that be
Mhm.
hosted on the Lizer?
So the way it works, yes, it will host it on Lizer. The way it works is, let's say you built a website outside Lizer. All you need to do is use Lizer APIs. It will call Lizer's agent itself. So the agent will be part of the whole Lizer ecosystem, but it will work for your website wherever you have integrated. Let's say you have a chatbot as part of your website. Any question that a user asks the chatbot, it will go call the Lizer's APIs, which is obviously with us, and then you will get a response based on the agent instructions and prompt you have given.
So is it scalable? Like how many people can do a prompting at a given?
So the way it works is for the free plan, we don't allow collaboration. Ideally, we have a collaborative way where multiple folks can collaboratively work and build and edit agents together. But that's not possible of the free plan. But what you could do is like you can, I mean, individually you can, since the process of building agents is quite simple, you can copy the system instructions and prompt and take it to the other account and then continue. The collaborative is not available as in free plan.
No. I was asking how many people at a once. Suppose I put that on a website. So at a
No
given
limit.
point of time, 1,000, 10,000,
There's no
like
limit. So there's no limit. The way it works is whenever you publish it, let's say externally, until you have your credits, we don't count the number of users using your agent or ask questions to your agent. We never do that. The way we work is we'll take credits. So for every question that users ask, some amount of credits gets consumed. So initially you get 500 credits. So that is the way, that is the only limitation that you have.
Makes sense. Thank you.
And you can build unlimited agents as well. So unlimited agents, unlimited end users, no limit there.
Hey, Manoj, can you please pardon on that back part or for the credits?
On which part? Sorry.
They're asking for the hack again. Or
Okay, so you get 500 credits when you sign up. So one of the hacks is to use a cheaper model. So a cheaper model is GPT-4o Mini. So the amount of credits it consumes would be substantially lower as compared to the newer models like GPT-4. So the difference is vast actually, like 15, 16 times difference. So while you're testing your agent, you can try out with 4o Mini. And if you still don't get sufficient results, you can start using a better model. So if you look at our agent builder, there's a screen where you're selecting the LLM model, right? There's a screen where there's a section that lists out all the LLM and you get to see which one is cheaper, which one is good at reasoning, which one is faster. So you can choose based on that. That is one hack. The second hack is obviously you can use multiple email IDs to create multiple accounts and you'll still get 500 credits. So yeah, that's the second hack.
Vidur, you're on mute if you're speaking. You've been on mute for quite some
Yeah,
time.
so I was saying that credits are consumed mostly when you are testing the agents, right, Manoj?
Correct.
That's the only time your credits will be used. Apart from that, you can play around, do anything.
So when you test your agent or when you publish your agent and some other person or like users ask a question to that agent, then based on a few things, the credits gets cut.
When the API call happens, does the credits get reduced?
Yes. So there's a fixed charge for that. So a few credits gets consumed. It depends. Just give you context how it works. It depends on which model you're choosing. That's one. It depends on how long your question is, how long your instructions are, and how long the output is. If you saw my product manager, the PRD agent, it had a very lengthy response, right? There's a PRD document, so it might consume a bit higher credits as compared to any normal agent. And if you use knowledge base or tools, then some amount of credits will get added. And if you add a feature, actually there are certain features. I would advise you to add short-term memory, which is free. So we'll add some few features that makes your agent more powerful. All the safe and responsible features are also part of it.
All right. Next, I think we have a few people who have raised their hand. So, Tahid, you can go first if you're here. All right, Ruchit. Folks, if you don't have any questions, please, you can lower your hand. Sally?
I just wanted to confirm, do we get the hackathon instructions? I didn't get everything. Are we going to get the write-up?
So you're looking for the link that I was showing?
Yes.
Yeah, so I've pinned it in the chat. I'll share it again and hope you're there on the WhatsApp group wherein we'd be sharing all the details and all of these links as well.
Yeah, because it doesn't show the instruction. It just shows like
Mhm.
the guidelines. It doesn't show the hackathon.
All right. Are you there
Hello?
on the WhatsApp, Sally?
Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
No. I'm asking, are you there on the WhatsApp group that we have?
Yes, I'm on the WhatsApp group.
Would you mind DMing me? We can, get
Sure.
into the details of what you're looking for. Yeah, awesome. All right.
Hello.
Next, Akash. Who is saying hello? All right. Pranav?
Yeah, hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so this question is for Manoj. So, Manoj, I can see beyond the hackathon also already. So, if there was a beyond agent marketplace, if someone wanted to start AI implementation to Lizer, kind of a consulting, who would be the right person to get in touch with?
You can reach out to me. So you can just reach out to me. I'll forward you to the right person then. Better.
Okay, and where, like, you through LinkedIn or?
Yes, I'll give you. Let me give you my mail ID here. I'm just typing it here.
Yes, okay, sure. Thanks, Manoj.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. Saurabh, you can use multiple different tools, right? Lizer is one of the tools that we showcased. Let me share some more resources on the group in terms of we have actually built agents end to end, and we have YouTube videos for that as well. If you want to go through that, right? Yes, it should be responsive. Cool. All right, Pranav, you can mute yourself if you're done with the question. Ruchit, you can go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Am I audible? Ruchit here.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, I joined late due to some family constraint. So I'm going through that hackathon Notion document you have
I'll
shared.
also share the recording of this session.
Oh, okay, good. So, my question is like actually education with AI. So, is there any problem statement you guys have shared so that we can dig more into that? What kind of tool we want to build it?
Right. So generally in these sort of things, right, if we give you an exact problem statement, we see that the solutions are similar. That's why the domain is what we have shared. You can choose what kind of problem statement you want to pick, right? So we showcase that maybe you can build a quiz bot wherein if you put some knowledge base, you directly get different quizzes. You can maybe build also that you can choose different levels of difficulty, etc. Right? So the problem statement is something that what resonates with you, but in this particular theme.
Okay, education with AI, right?
Yes.
Okay. And is it necessary that you get a partner or like I'm single and I can try my hands on? That is
Yes,
okay.
yes. I think most of the people here are participating individually. So that's perfectly fine.
Okay, okay. Thank you. And I joined late. Then that too, I was able to get the information. Thanks, product space for that. Actually, thank you,
No
thank you, thank
worries.
you.
Thank you. Yeah. Folks, I'm sharing the Notion link again. It's already pinned in the chat. Yes, Parag. Yes. You can leave if you don't have any questions. Argyadeep, is
I
the
have a
question
question.
specific to? Yeah, sorry. Who is it?
Hello.
Yeah, Aman, go ahead.
Is it audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Manoj, I wanted to ask that the role of such frameworks or such AI is just like, hello, is it audible properly?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. So I was saying, so is it just like that? We build pieces, that's it, then we integrate those pieces, and then we check the output. This is how a framework, something like that works. Is this the end goal?
So you can probably share your question in the chat if that's feasible. Your voice broke. Yeah.
All right. Okay, we have
Hello.
Gopal.
Yeah.
Yes, good afternoon. Just quickly, one question. I see in the document you shared the detailed points on what should cover in your submission. It mentioned agents. So agents should be part of the whole flow, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Folks, I think most of the questions are covered.
Yeah.
Right?
In case you have any other questions, I've dropped my email in the chat. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to probably Manoj, and we'll be happy to answer all these questions.
Yes. Folks, you can post your questions in the WhatsApp group as well. We'd be happy to help you there, right? And all the details are there either on the Notion link or in the group description of WhatsApp, right? And if you need any more help, you can feel free to DM me or any of the admins as well of the WhatsApp group. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Manoj. Thanks, Vidhur, for spending so much time here. We hope to see a lot of good products coming in. So yeah, see you soon. And folks, I hope you are excited as well. Right? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.